Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to bring you said information coming out of Knoxville, Tennessee, pertaining to the standoff that was in Western Heights. Um, a male has been arrested for evading arrest. He was also stopped because there was an ongoing investigation pertaining to um, a woman who was found deceased in her car last weekend. I'm going to bring you that said information. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans.
Charges may be pending for a man who barricaded himself in an apartment in the Western Heights area of North Knoxville earlier today. 6 on your side's Wes Cooper, live with us here in the studio. So, Wes, the incident all began with a Knoxville officer attempting to pull the man over.
That's exactly right, Bo. Police say they tried to make the traffic stop on I-40 near I-275. That's when the man fled to Western Heights. Diane Nichols is fed up with crimes near Western Heights.
Little girl got killed, a week ago. She got shot right up here on Jerome. Right up the street, which would make that far away from me.
Nichols lives across the street from Western Heights, and she had a front row seat to Knoxville police trying to talk a man out of an apartment after a car chase.
You see a lot. This neighborhood's bad for it. You gotta really be careful. Because if you want to hide out, you come here. That's about the way it is.
Mike Parton lives in Western Heights and watched as the incident played out. He says it was scary, so he decided to leave for his mom's house about an hour away.
It was just very, very nail-biting tenseness to not know which way this guy was going to go. I was in the apartments across from where he exited, so I was about 50 feet away.
Police report after talking with negotiators around 6 p.m., the barricaded man voluntarily exited the apartment and was taken into custody without incident.
I was glad to see all of the police, and I felt safer when they were there, but I have not seen anything like this here.
What keeps you staying here, I guess? Like, what do you say?
Because my dead husband bought me this place. And we just bought the trailer 2 days before he died. So, this is my home. So, I ain't got nowhere else to go.
Nichols added she would like to see more authoritative action in the Western Heights area because she's tired of her property being damaged due to crimes nearby.
All right, Wes, thank you. We should note the man in the incident has not been identified. Of course, we will continue to update you with the latest as more information becomes available.
Well, he has been identified, and the Queen's going to bring you the said information. That commentary is WATE News. I'm going to bring you information pertaining to who he is. Okay?
I have a business hotel.
Sorry about that. Okay. The suspect involved in the standoff at Western Heights apartment complex has been identified. The standoff took place following after police attempted to stop a vehicle which continued on to Western Heights apartment complex. During the pursuit, police lost sight of the vehicle. Police were able to find the vehicle in the apartment complex and confirmed that the suspect had fled into an apartment. Police identified the suspect as Latawyne Osbourne, 37, of Knoxville. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, but anyway, he is charged with evading arrest. Police had previously said the initial reason for the attempted traffic stop was because the person in the vehicle was wanted for questioning in an ongoing investigation. According to the arrest, police had been observing him before he began driving, at which point he fled. Police said that after this, they attempted to stop him with flashing lights and sirens, but Osbourne continued to flee. Police say that during the pursuit, Osbourne abandoned the car in an alleyway and ran. He seems to like alleys. Okay. Police obtained a search warrant for an apartment. In their search, they found 2 handguns wrapped in a plastic bag in the toilet reservoir. After completing an FBI criminal history check, it was found that Osbourne was convicted of multiple felonies in Georgia. It was also discovered by police that Osbourne had an outstanding warrant for aggravated assault in Blount County. Police said that Osbourne told an officer that he should not have ran. Yeah, true, you should not have ran. An additional search warrant was granted for the vehicle Osbourne was driving. Police found documents belonging to the defendant in the car, but no narcotics were found. I bring you this information because a woman was found dead in her car last weekend off of Louise Avenue in East Knoxville. Her name is Jafesha L. Mitchell. He was wanted for questioning in that murder. I brought you information pertaining to the standoff in Western Heights. You hear an officer stating that he was wanted for questioning in her murder. He has not been arrested for a murder, but I brought you that information. I also did 3 shorts in the YouTube queue pertaining to his arrest, an arrest of a white female who was brought out of that said apartment, and also a black female who was brought out of that said apartment. And please go into the YouTube queue to my shorts and you will see the said video where you see him backing out of the apartment, walking backwards, a white female coming out of the apartment, and also a black female in a patrol car at the end of that said video. I have not got any more information that these 3 people are involved in the murder of Jafesha or if he's involved, but he was wanted on question for this said homicide. Did he kill her? I do not know. But when I get more information, I will bring you the said commentary. I'm going to now show you a picture of this Mr. Osbourne, who has many felonies coming out of Georgia and also an aggravated assault coming out of Blount County, which neighbors Knox County. This is the said defendant. Hold on one second. We'll pull that back up again. Because it's acting up right now. Hold on one second. Pull that picture back up. Thank you all for joining me. For those who didn't get a good view, 17 viewing, thank you. This is the male that was identified in the standoff in Western Heights. Gosh, he just doesn't want to stay up there for some reason. This is crazy. Hold on one second. Well, this is what happens. That is the male. Latawyne Osbourne, 37. Once again, as I've stated, there hasn't been any information that he is involved in the murder, but he was wanted on questioning pertaining to Jafesha L. Mitchell, found in her car, deceased off Louise Avenue last weekend. He was brought in for questioning, obviously. He obviously was being surveyed for them to pull him over on the interstate. 2, a white female was brought out of that same apartment where he was. 3, a black female also brought out of that said apartment. She was brought out first. Her name is Keisha. What is their involvement? Why were they in that apartment? Whose apartment it is? I do not know, but I'm just bringing you the said information. WATE is the source. He has been arrested for evading police. Latawyne Osbourne, 87, or Latawyne. I don't know how you pronounce the name. I don't really care. Because, you know, when the street people, I don't really care about their names, how they're pronounced. But anyway, you hear this one woman talking in this commentary. She's a female, an older white female, Diane Nichols, who's stating she lives in the community. She's sick of everything that's going on. This and that. Someone bought her that home. So Obviously, if she could live somewhere else, she would. And that's the thing people don't understand about crime in neighborhoods. People live where they can afford to live. If they could do better, I would assume they would do better. They'd go somewhere else. But they live where they can afford to live. And this lady is speaking about the crime in the neighborhood. And as I've told you, there have been recent crime there in that Western Heights area. You hear her mention Jerome Avenue, but it is also the same street where Tyanja Duff, 35, was shot in her car last Monday. And you hear her mention an incident that took place on that same street. I don't know if she was referring to that shooting or it was another shooting, but nonetheless, crime is out of control. Now, as I said, Jafasha was shot on the east side of Knoxville. But where these three suspects were apprehended out of an apartment was in northwest Knoxville in Western Heights, which is a project development. Okay? Same area where Miss Duff lost her life last Monday, being shot in a car. And of course, when I get more information pertaining to that shooting death, I will bring you that said information. Is he the suspect in Miss Jafasha's death? I do not know. But there has to be a reason why he was being watched and why they pulled him over. Someone had to have given that information, given his name. Is he the suspect? Is he the murderer of Miss Jafasha L. Mitchell? I do not know. But as I said, when I get that set information, I will bring it to you. The crime here in Knoxville is ridiculous. We've had an uptick of crime, and the fact that we had 3 deaths in 3 days last weekend is preposterous. It is ridiculous for such a small town. And as I've told you all in many of my commentaries, you don't know people. People are sick, they're vile, they're ill. There's no such thing as, I know him, I know her. There's no such thing. And these women sitting in this apartment with him, I think is interesting. Why are you in the apartment with this man? Did you know that he could have possibly killed this woman? Because I'm asking that one question. Whose apartment is it? Why were these 2 women in the apartment with him? And imagine if indeed this is not their apartment and they're in there with him. For what reason? Very sinister. And as far as the death of Tyanja Duff, I think it's sick that someone at her age could be gunned down in her own car. And someone who obviously she thought she knew or was friends with, acquaintance, wouldn't even talk to the police. You see, as I keep saying, you don't know people. Everybody's not your friend. And an acquaintance is just what it is, an acquaintance. That's not a friend. Now, what was their relationship? I do not know. But as I have said to a few people pertaining to the death of Miss Duff, I find it very mind-boggling. There's something about the story that isn't right to me. My spirit is telling me something is off with the death of Tyanja. And when I get more information, I will bring it to you. But there's something off. Because see, this is something I said to myself yesterday pertaining to her death, is that many people can assume that the bullet wasn't for her, okay? But unless you know the mind of the shooter, it means nothing. Because in the end, you were not there and I wasn't there. So you don't know the mindset of that Keisha Dalton. You don't know what she was thinking to herself. You don't know what was said at that time of the shooting. You don't know what she and that guy was fighting about that day and up until that point. So therefore, you don't know anything. And who's to say she didn't feel some type of way about Tyanja? Who's to say she didn't think that they liked each other, one like the other one? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because no one was there except for the people who were there. And my understanding is that that so-called male did not cooperate with authorities. So I have a problem with him, okay? Because in the end, you were in Tyanja's company. She obviously liked you to some degree to be in your company as a friend, associate, whichsoever. And the fact that your girlfriend comes up in this vicinity, shit pops off, and Tyanja's now deceased. Okay? So who knows what that chick was thinking? Who knows what she thought was going on between the participants in that car? And that's what some of you need to understand. You don't know what she was thinking. You're assuming you know what happened. You're assuming it was about the guy. She was mad at the guy, but that means nothing to me. Because you don't know if she thought he liked one of the ladies, if one of the ladies liked him, they were all too friendly with him. You don't know. Because that young lady was shot to her personal area. And we're going to leave it at that. So that leads me to think it's more to this story. Okay? It's more to the story. I want to get more information pertaining to this Mr. Osbourne, who obviously has a lengthy criminal history, wanted on several felonies out of Georgia and also Blount County, which neighbors Knoxville. And he's been walking around, and God forbid he killed this woman, Miss Jafasha. That means he was wanted on felonies, aggravated assault out of Blount County, and was walking around this general area and killed this woman. Now, he has not been arrested on murder for Miss Jafasha, but what is baffling and disturbing is that he was being obviously surveyed by authorities and they pulled him over, attempted to pull him over, and he rides all the way from West Knoxville all the way to Northwest Knoxville and dumps a car in the projects and runs into somebody's house. Did they let him in? Did he knock on the door? What? Did he know these people? What? And who are these women? Stay woke. Did they know him? Did they let him in? Knowing he committed a crime. When I bring you that information, when I get more information, I'll bring it to you. There are a lot of busy people out here. And I'm going to say this to a lot of you in the chat. Okay? I'm going to say this to a lot of you in the chat. No matter if you are near my age, 51, you're 30, you're 20, whatever, because I think a lot of my viewers are, over the age of 40. But nonetheless, I do have some people in the chat that are younger. Let me say this to all of you, because everybody needs to hear this. You don't know people. Tyanja lost her life at the age of 35. Okay? I believe this young lady, Jafasha, was under the age of 30. Erise King, 33. Erise King Jr. You see, you need to be very careful of the company you keep. Everybody's not your friend. Everybody doesn't mean you good. Be it somebody that you're hanging with, be it somebody that you're dating, be it somebody that you like. You don't know people. And all these people I've mentioned are under the age of 35. Okay? But they didn't know the people who they were in the company with, no matter what the circumstances were that led to their demise. They didn't know these people. And everybody is not your friend. And you can be my age, 50 plus, and lose your life by the company you keep, being in the wrong place, fraternizing the wrong establishment, dating the wrong person, being married to the wrong person. People leave here for various reasons. You don't know people. And I say this because it's serious business out here. These are 3 young people under the age of 35 who are not living out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And our community is mourning the deaths of these said 3 people, all African American. 2 women, 1 man. And 9 times out of 10, it's foolishness and senseless reasons for murder. And you can't go back. You can't take it back. You need to be very careful the people you sit with, talk with, hang with, get in people's cars, giving people rides, going to people's homes, hanging with people outside, front porches, stoops, cars, whatever. You don't know people. You will never know anyone until it is too late. And I believe that in the death of Areese King Jr., Jafasha L. Mitchell, and Tyanja Duff, they didn't know these people. Because common sense would tell you, had they known that they were diabolical, they wouldn't have been in their company or their peripheral or hanging with anyone that hangs with them. Anyone that hangs with them. Know your friends. Know your associates. Know the people you're dating. Do your best to know something about them, so you do not end up a news story and a YouTube video. When you see the signs that they are not right, run like hell. We all make mistakes. But it is time for us to take accountability for the company we keep, the people we are around, that they are not right. They do not make good decisions. They do not make sound decisions. Because you see, you can like somebody and see that they are not right and still continue to deal with them. And then they have other cohorts and people they are hanging around that are not proper. And you're still holding on to this vessel who is not right. You see, you could end up one of these people I'm speaking of, all because you're hanging with them, sitting with them, aiding them. You don't want to be that person. There's no reason for me to have to be talking about a 26-year-old, a 33-year-old, and a 35-year-old female. This is ridiculous. And the reasons will never matter. They are dead. And there is no logic behind killing young people, or anybody for that matter. Especially a woman who had 5 children. Please be careful of the company you keep. If they get turned up, cut them off. They hang with people that get drunk, turned up. Bye. Hey, I don't want to be in that. And if you live that way yourself, you need to stop. Life is short. You got to value yourself. You got to value yourself and the company you keep. Because all it takes is that one time someone says something out of the way, you say something, respond. Somebody comes around talking crazy to somebody you're with, or you can't go back. And you may not be able to get out of that situation. alive. And now your family, friends, are mourning you because of the company you kept. You see, you don't have to go look for trouble. You don't have to look for trouble anymore. The devil will gladly send his minions to you. That's his job. He will send them your way. And you have to pray that you'll be able to get out alive. So if you know any young people, you need to talk to them and tell them you need to be careful of the company you keep. You need to be careful how you act and how you represent yourself when you're outside. Because the little things you do, say, can bring harm your way. The people you take up with, hang with, go to their homes, they come to your home. The places you go, fraternize, can cost you your life. This is serious business out here. We have an epidemic in our community. And it's not just with African American people, it is with all people. People are weary, they pop off quick, they don't have the temperament to deal with people, and you do not want to end up a news story. Just like I said, you could easily walk in a store and get shot in a grocery store, anywhere, it doesn't matter. Or you could be in the wrong company. Somebody else has a problem with them, or they have a problem with you. You don't know they have a problem with you. And now you're staring down the barrel of a gun. And it's a little too late to try to reason with the fool. That's my message to you. Happy Sunday to all of you. Everybody stay cool, hydrated. This is going to be a very warm week here in the high 10. So please stay in if you don't have to be out. God bless all of you. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. Mind the children. Want to get more information pertaining to Mr. Osbourne and the other 2 women who were arrested, I will bring you that said information. Our prayers for the Duff and Patterson family. As I told you before, Tyanja Duff will be buried on Wednesday. There will be her services on Wednesday and then buried thereafter. Prayers to her family, prayers for her children. If you'd like to donate to her children, I have the information on my community board for a GoFundMe page. Thank you so kindly. Please think of her children because they are going to need all the help they can get, counseling, because they now don't have a mother. Same thing with Mr. Erise King. And same with Miss Javasha Mitchell. They have family, they have children who now don't have a parent. Thank you so kindly. If you'd like to donate to this network, The Dream, Everyday Shenanigans, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you all so much for following the content. I appreciate it. God bless all of you. Have a wonderful week. Hope you all have had a blessed weekend. This is Everyday Shenanigans.